Hey guys, welcome back to the Transatlantic Sports Show, our third ever episode on YouTube. Yeah, baby, we had draft prospect, I beg your pardon, last time out in Javon Hicks, and delighted to say I've got another NFL draft prospect now. Of course, draft weekend is inching closer. In fact, it's probably coming at us like 1,000 miles an hour, probably is for some of the prospects involved, or maybe it's going a little bit slow and they can't wait for draft time to come about. If you are listening to this audio podcast, please check us out on YouTube. We are at TASS_UK. I'm Anthony Wotton. You can see my Twitter handle below on YouTube. It is at AR Wotton. And of course, we are at TASS_UK on Twitter and on Instagram. As I said, this episode is focusing on another draft prospect. Exciting time of year it is for us, the fans. Imagine what it's like for the players involved, and delighted to say, coming fresh out of college in Hawaii, is Zion Bowens, wide receiver. Zion, welcome to the show, man.
Anthony, thanks for having me. Glad to be on the show.
The pleasure is all ours. Look at you, you're a California kid and you go to college in Hawaii. I mean, can it get any better than that?
No, it really can. It really can. I mean, going to school in Hawaii it was a blessing. Every day we're waking up in paradise. We get to go to school and play the sport that we love. So, we really get the best of both worlds in that.
How did that feel as a kid? So you graduate from high school and you're obviously going off to college, and you're going off for your college career and also your football career. But, it's probably 2,000 miles away because you're right out there in the
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean, and it's going to be a completely different lifestyle to that you're used to in the hustle and bustle of California. So how was that for a young man suddenly waving goodbye to the folks, jumping on a plane, and then heading out to paradise, as you said?
Right. Well, actually, the way that it happened was coming out of high school. I was at the Air Force Academy. Was there for 2 years, and then and that was an experience of itself, which I could definitely get into some more. But was at the Air Force Academy for 2 years. Transferred back home to Long Beach for a year, and then played a season of football. And that's when Hawaii offered me a scholarship. So in 2019 is when that I went out, 2019 to 2020 is when I got out to Hawaii. And I mean, being from Long Beach, I was kind of used to like that kind of lifestyle. We're familiar with it. But going out to Hawaii, it was just a complete different, a totally different experience. Really just undescribable. Like I was saying earlier, just really the views and just the whole experience, and the people I feel is what made it so special. You hear a lot about the aloha, and that stuff is real. Like they really show love, and that's something that that I'll always definitely remember about that place.
So you got out there 2019, you go into 2020, in the early part of 2020, suddenly, boom, we're struck by lockdown. So did you have to isolate in Hawaii the whole time? Were you able to get back home to California? And if you were, I mean, in Hawaii, what was that like? Was a sense of like you're in it together, and you're thousands of miles from home if you're stuck out there?
Mhm. Yeah. So, well, when I got out there, it was like you said, right in the middle of the COVID thing. So they had us basically quarantined inside of the apartments that I was staying in during that time. It was on campus. And so I was there basically for the first 2 weeks, inside, couldn't leave, had people, bringing me, whatever I needed, groceries, stuff for the house and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was like a pretty significant shock as far as my first time being on the island, being locked in. So, luckily that train didn't, it didn't ride too long. So I was able to get out there.
Yeah, man. But I can only imagine what it'd be like, for a young person being out there and then suddenly isolated, the mental impact that
Mm.
that would have had on you.
Yeah. Well, definitely, there definitely was a mental impact for sure. I was actually quarantined with three other people who I was staying with, so and they were all on the football team as well. And so as far as the mental aspect, I feel like we were able to kind of ease each other's loads just by being there for each other. And I mean, just we're just not in it alone. So I mean, we get to share it.
Yeah, and you know what, you like you said, thankfully it wasn't too long, although during that time it did feel like it was ages. But we've come
Right.
through it, and we're looking forward to your NFL career. But you mentioned there about the Air Force Academy. You said you could go into that. What is that? Are we talking Top Gun here? You playing football on the beach like Maverick and the guys? What was that like?
Um, it's definitely got a lot. There's definitely a lot that can be taken from Top Gun. I mean, the first 6 weeks, is like the basic training. So I mean, no football, no nothing, just straight like military. Yes, sir, no, sir. You feel me? We're getting up at 4 in the morning. They're banging on our doors. Put your stuff on. Put your stuff on. You know, push-ups. We're going long jogs, and really just the whole. I mean, everything that you see in the movies, I feel is like what we were going through. You know, we got like courses. We're calling through the mud and doing all type of stuff. Just yeah, no, I mean, it was. I mean, that particular time was really just like to weed out the people who weren't going to be who weren't suited for it. Physically, it was definitely taxing, but I would say mentally, it was that was the bigger battle because a lot of times we would be there, doing push-ups, but they don't tell you obviously how many we're doing, and so that's kind of the mental game. It's like, all right, how many more do we have left? But I mean, you can always do one more. So I mean, that's kind of how you're able to overcome that.
I tell you what, if you're sat down with NFL scouts and coaches and you talk about that with that positive mindset, you're going to be moving right up to the top of the list, man. Training camps is going to be like a walk in the park for you this summer.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I definitely feel that I have the mental capacity to be able to excel and progress as far as like the camp and stuff. But um, I won't be taking anything lightly. Be doing everything I'll be making sure that I'm doing everything that I can to put myself in the best position.
And you come from pretty good stock. Your high school in Long Beach, California, has got a couple of star NFL players up on the wall, haven't they? So guys that
Yes.
you playing for them would have looked up to and think, hey, I could do this.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, no, our Long Beach Poly is known for having the most guys in the NFL from, I mean, coming out of high school. So the bar is set very high in that regard. Some guys like DeSean Jackson, Marcedes Lewis, JuJu Smith-Schuster, um, just to name a few. And so, yeah, no, those are guys that have paved the way for people like myself, football players like myself, in order to kind of pave that way to going to the NFL.
Yeah, Juju's just got his Super Bowl ring, just 2 months removed from winning the Super Bowl in Arizona. Obviously, he's moved on as well now to pastures new. But you look at the careers that he had, and DeSean Jackson, as you said there as well. As a wide receiver, are those guys? Have you managed to reach out to them? Have you had any to get any tips on how to go through this draft process?
Um, I haven't reached out to, I mean, DeSean or Juju, but I actually at the gym that I train at, Marcedes Lewis, he trains there as well. Um, and he's been in the league for over 15 years. So um, there have been times where I've went up to him and just kind of picked his brain and just on like the whole being in the NFL and like the draft process. And so he was able to really give me some good pointers, stuff to think about moving forward.
Tell you what, he's good hands. Only 15 years as a tight end. I mean, that is some going. But Marcedes Lewis scored a hat trick of touchdowns at Wembley Stadium, I'll have you know.
Okay.
So there's a good sign, as the NFL brings more games abroad. We're going to have 2 games in Germany later this year. We've got 3 in London. Who knows? You could be joining one of the NFL teams that's coming to London. And
Mm,
that's, I mean, if you score 3 touchdowns in London, my goodness, man,
yeah.
you'll be knighted.
Yeah. That would be great.
So obviously it's you're Zion Bowens, and it's always comparison season, isn't it, this time of year, where people look at comps, compare, so that they can see how you, I guess, measure up or look compared to other successful players who have come out of the draft. So as a wide receiver, is there somebody that you would liken your game to? I don't want to compare you to anybody, but
Mm.
anybody that you would liken your game to, or that you've modeled your game on?
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, I'd say there's a couple people who I'd say I've taken a little bit of their game and kind of added it to mine, and just like the overall, um, just the overall comparison. Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, I feel are 2 people who I can compare my game to. Devontae Adams, his releases are like the best in the game. Like his that skip release. I mean, he gets DBs with that every time, and so I've tried to incorporate that into my game as well. Um, Devontae Smith, he's more of a smaller receiver. He's a smaller type receiver, and so the way that he plays is different than maybe somebody like Keenan Allen or maybe like Debo Samuel or somebody like that. They got 2 different games, and so because he's a little bit smaller, I feel like I'm smaller, but still can attack you with speed. Um, I mean, just for those 2, I would say are 2 people who I've taken some of my game from.
Nice, nice. Is there a game that you look back on your college career, and it's like, as soon as you close your eyes, you see it, you can picture the moment. Is there a play, a touchdown, a catch? What is it?
Yeah, that would take me back to 2020. This is the first year when I got out there. We were playing at Aloha Stadium before they like decided to shut it down. And so I'm really glad that I was able to do this before they shut it down, because Aloha Stadium is just, it's so historically just rich, and many people have played there. And so I scored my first touchdown in that stadium. And that feeling, it was on a deep post. A deep post. Must have ran a clean route, basically untouched, and I got a perfect ball right in the basket, and right dragged the toe like into the back of the end zone. And so being able to do that was definitely exciting. It was electric, and I'll always remember that.
Zion, you're living the dream there, man. I mean, I'm just picturing it. You painted it really well, and oh, dude, it's like it's the stuff that we dream of. We play Madden for that feeling.
Yeah,
We can't even do that down the
yeah,
park. But my word, man, you can close your eyes and you can picture that. Oh, I can only imagine what the feeling was like.
yeah, yeah. No, the feeling that you get like when the ball is in the air, and it's just you and the ball, and it's like
Does it slow
nothing
down
else
at
matters.
all?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. Can you see the spiral and everything? Like
Yeah.
one of those movie shots. Really?
No, you really can't. It does slow down. It does slow down, because like the game is fast. Like, when you're out there, like the game is happening fast. Like everything is happening fast. But when the ball is in the air, it does slow down a little bit. And like even in college, like you can see like the white strip, and so you can kind of see the spin of the ball, and you can kind of judge it a little bit better off of that. Um, but yeah, like when it's in the air, nothing else matters. It's just like, oh snap, like it's happening. And
Dude. Yeah.
so
And
that feeling is,
can you hear the crowd in that moment as well, or is that completely locked in? Are you just like just consumed by the moment. You've seen the spiral, you've seen the white the ball, as you said. Does the crowd noise, does that drown out as well in that moment?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And the reason I know that is because, I mean, when the ball is in the air, I mean, like I was saying, everything else drowns out. But once you catch it, all you hear is the crowd. All you hear is the crowd. And so, you know, that during that time, it was like, you know, you were kind of zoned in for a minute, but now it's like you're back. You made the catch and the crowd is going crazy. So,
Man, oh, I've got chills. That is so cool. That is just awesome, man. I love it. Look, how great was it this week, by the way, earlier in the week, at the time of recording, to hear Damar Hamlin say that he's been cleared to play football again. I counted it was only 15 weeks removed from that terrible incident on the
yes.
2nd of January, you know, but great news, wasn't it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely great news. I mean, great news for, I'm sure, for his family, the NFL. I mean, really everybody involved. I mean, from that incident, you know, that we were that we understood that, you know, this was obviously bigger than football. And so seeing the support and, you know, everybody kind of come around and just rally around Damar was really beautiful to see. I mean, it was good to see that that people, you know, were taking football out of it, and it was more about the person. And so that's really what I, you know, appreciated in seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, did it impact, you know, you guys as a young team in college? You know, I'm just wondering, you know, because we've never seen it before on a football field, and you know, just wondering whether, you know, as young players, what
Yeah.
kind of impact that would have in you.
Yeah. It can definitely have I would say, I mean, for sure, a significant impact. I mean, the game that we play is very physical and violent. And so whenever things like that happen, it's like, I mean, you understand that it's just kind of a part of the game. It's what is what you sign up for, in a way. But I mean, our love for the game is much greater than, you know, whether we think we're going to get injured or not. And so that's why, you know, we play the game 100%. Like there's no other way to play it. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes that's just the result um of playing.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those, one in a billion gazillion chances,
Hmm.
you know, and it's just unfortunate that it happened. But if you went out there and you didn't give 100%, then you're more likely to get hurt because
Yes.
your body and your mind's not totally into it, as you said there. Let's
Right.
circle it back around to you and your career. When was the moment that you knew that football, this was it, this is what you wanted? You wanted to be a player,
Mm, well, I would say, I mean, I grew up playing football. My dad had me playing, you know, flag and then tackle at a very young age, like 5, 4 or 5, probably closer to 5. And then, I mean, from then it's just been football and track, football and track, football and track, all the way up to high school, through high school. Um, and I mean, I ultimately stuck with football. And I mean, I would say like in in Pop Warner, right around like, you know, middle school is kind of when I knew like, all right, football is what I want to do. Like I want to take this as far as I can. Um, and it wasn't until really until the end of my college career to where I realized like, okay, my college career is over and the next step is the NFL. Like, um, and it was kind of like I was kind of hit with it sooner than expected. It's like, all right, now I'm here. Not really expecting to go, but you know, doing everything I can to make sure that, I mean, I'm going to give myself the best shot to continue playing this game. Um, and so I would, yeah, I mean, all throughout my childhood, I've always wanted to play in the league. So this really would be a dream come true.
awesome. Who was your team growing up?
The Steelers. The
Steelers. All right,
Steelers.
so you're a California guy, but the Steelers are your team, way out there.
Yes, there actually happens to be a lot of Steelers fans in Long Beach.
Right.
Um, in like specific areas in Long Beach. Closer, I would say, more closer to the east side of Long Beach. You'll see a lot of Steelers jerseys. And so yeah, I guess just growing up, that's kind of been the team.
So JuJu was the man, quite literally, when he was drafted by the Steelers in Long
Oh,
Beach, man.
literally,
Dude,
100%.
I've been to. I've had the. I've been fortunate to go to. Well, it was Heinz Field at the time, to go to Pittsburgh, and their fan base is like no other. As in terms of football, all the bridges are yellow, gold, and obviously all the teams in Pittsburgh wear black and yellow.
Mm.
And it was a Sunday night football game against the Ravens. It was Lamar Jackson's rookie year, and the Ravens won. But I mean, that fan base, that Pittsburgh fan base, the way that
Yes,
the city is not a huge city, but the way that they all just come together for football, and
yeah,
it's that Sunday, the whole day is just it's football, it's Steelers
yes,
time. It's
yes.
phenomenal, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's yeah, no, their fan base is one of the craziest in the game.
And some, and some. You mentioned there football track. So I'm imagining on the track you're a sprinter.
Yes, I would classify myself as a mid distance
All right.
sprinter. Yeah. So I
Okay.
ran the four, basically the four down, the 400, 200 meters, and the 100.
Get
But
out.
the four was really my race. That's, just the one lap. But I mean, that race was, I mean, they call it a man's race for a reason. It's not easy, but um
What's your best time at 400? I used to do track training, so I know what the effort's like to get around that
yes,
track. Go on,
yes.
what's your time?
My fastest 400 time was 47.2, 47.2 seconds.
Oh man, no way. Oh,
Yes.
dude, that is wow. I mean, there's a reason why you're going into the NFL. My word. Can you surf as well? Coming from Long Beach, I'm picturing like a Raheem Mostert, obviously different position, but Raheem Mostert Mark II, because he's a bit of a
Mm,
surfer. He was a track star. Obviously,
yeah.
he's a pretty electric on the field.
Yes. I can surf.
Of course, you can.
Prior to prior to being I mean, in Long Beach, I wasn't really surfing like that. But when I got out to Hawaii, it was like you are going to be surfing. Like it
Man,
was like surfing for the Hawaiians is kind of like it's their way of like showing their love to you. Like they want to see you out there, surfing because it's like you're taking on their culture and that's what they want to see. And so I definitely learned how to surf while being out there. Um, I have my own board in this shop that's like right by, the place that we surf at. And so if I ever come back to Hawaii, then
grab your board and away you go.
yeah, I'm out there.
Who knows? If you end up with the Dolphins, you got your surfing buddy out there, and in Raheem, you guys could both be doing the surfing touchdown celebration. Mine with
No,
Daniel, I'm just saying, I'm just
yeah,
floating it out there.
yeah, I'm with it.
Awesome. How have you found the whole draft experience so far? Obviously, it's not draft weekend, but the whole build up to it, the
Mm,
scouting, the meetings, all that stuff.
yeah, the draft process has really been very steady and just consistent. Like, I mean, since January, it's just been. I mean, the training has just been very. I mean, I wouldn't say monotonous. I fall in love with the process. We put work in. We put a lot of work in throughout the week, um, and really just focus on stacking the days and just getting a little bit better, like 1% better. Um, and so I've learned to fall in love with the working process and not really looking too far ahead. It's like, all right, when am I gonna reap the benefits of my work, and just keep my head down and just taking the grind day by day. But yeah, no, it's been rewarding. It's been rewarding because there have been times where I've like broken through, or I can actually see myself getting better. So that's always encouraging.
Yeah, Zion. I mean, just from this brief conversation that we've had, I can tell you're gonna go far. You've got the mindset. You're going back to your Air Force Academy training and the whole mentality of getting through that. And
Mm,
you look at the track success and of course your football success. You've got it. Some guys just have it, and it seems like you've got it. That it
yeah.
factor of just you bring it to me and I will do it. I will do everything,
Yes. Mm.
which is a killer attribute, man. So where are you going to be draft weekend, and who are you going to be with?
I'm going to be right here in Long Beach. I'll probably have like my family come over. Um, but yeah, I'll be right here in Long Beach. Um, yeah, nothing special, nowhere else, but yeah, right here.
Just walk down the road, just see if Marcedes Lewis is there, and say, "Hey, man, I
Yeah,
did it! I did
yeah.
it!"
No, definitely, definitely. No, that'll be a great moment because, yeah, me and Mercedes, we talk occasionally, so to be able to share that with him will be a great moment.
That is pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. And then, hopefully we will see you, as I said, at some point over here in London, and we'll be looking out for that touchdown celebration.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Would love to get out there.
And Munich, I was at Munich early last year, late last year. Anyways, the first game in Munich, it was in November last year, and that crowd out there, dude, is something else. That is an
Yeah,
atmosphere that, I mean, if you like soccer, it is. I mean, they bring it,
yeah.
absolutely bring it. One of the best sporting experiences. I've been to the Super Bowl, and
Mm,
I've covered pretty much all the London games, but that Germany one, oh boy, that is something
mm.
good,
Okay.
something. So yeah, one to look out for on your calendar. You get to your team first. Good luck through the whole draft time, and good luck to your family as well. I mean, it's just, if you got a phone that you're just gonna have like, do not touch. Nobody touch this phone.
Yeah. No, no, my phone is definitely gonna be, close by me within the next couple days. So
Of course it is, man. Absolutely. And look, Zion Bowens, thank you so much for joining us on the Transatlantic Sports Show, and we just wish you the best of luck. And we're going to be keeping an eye on you over the whole course of the draft weekend.
hey, thank you so much for the opportunity and thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. That's our man Zion Bowens, fresh out of Hawaii, Long Beach native, who is going into the NFL draft. One of the names to look out for, and courtesy of the Transatlantic Sports Show, we really enjoyed listening to some of the stories of these draft prospects over the past couple of weeks. So thank you very much for subscribing. Hit like if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, check us out at TASS_UK. And if you want to listen to the podcast, of course, if you are listening to it, you've already checked us out and you've subscribed. But if you're watching us on YouTube, you're like, hey, yeah, I'm going to listen to this whilst I'm out on my run. Zion's inspired you to hit the track and you want to listen to us whilst you're sprinting. Well, good luck to you. You can download us. Just search the Transatlantic Sports Show at TASS_UK on social media. I'm Anthony Watson. Got plenty more stuff, great content coming your way, including reaction to the NFL draft and more baseball as we gear up to that London series in just a few weeks' time. I say a few weeks. I mean, it's less than a couple of months' time now. Okay, so until next time,